Howdy, and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Today's Bread. Now, so far in this series, we've gone over creation of the world marred. Now, this week, we're going over the world judged, and today's portion is finding God's grace and a place of safety. Scripture reference is Genesis chapter 6, verses 8 through 22. Now, in the midst of universal unrighteousness, one man stood out. Noah. He was one person God saw as different from everyone else on earth. Genesis chapter 6 verse 8 says, Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, making him the first individual in Scripture specifically described as receiving God's grace. This was not a matter of favoritism. Noah had genuine qualities that pleased God. First, Noah was a just man. He sought to live by God's standards and treated others rightly. In a corrupt world, he was unique among his peers. He is also described as perfect in verse 9. Now, this does not mean that he was without sin, but that he was blameless in his conduct. His character did not invite accusations. Noah's life was summed up in the statement, Noah walked with God, verse 9. Like Enoch, Genesis 5, verse 24, he knew God personally, prayed, and listened to God's voice above the noise of the wicked culture. This relationship with God was the source of his righteousness. Noah was also marked by obedience. You see it in verse 22 of chapter 6 and also verse 5 of chapter 7. Hebrews 11:7 tells us he built the ark by faith, being moved with godly fear. He believed what God said about coming judgment and acted on his command. His faith and lifestyle condemned the world, showing what a life of trust in the Creator actually looks like. God commanded Noah to build an ark as a place of safety for himself, his family, and the animals. You see it in verses 14 through 19 of chapter 6 of Genesis. Now, the size of the ark was remarkable. Now, I've been to the creation, the ark in Kentucky. It is remarkable. It was 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. After giving the command, God repented that he would flood the earth to destroy all flesh, verse 17. Yet he would deal differently with Noah and his family, who would enter the ark, verse 18. Now, verse 22 emphasizes Noah's obedience to God's instructions, how different the story would be if he had refused. In the same way, we must obey God's command to believe in Jesus if we do not want to perish. I don't know about you, but I don't. John 3:16. Thank you, and I pray that you've enjoyed today's edition of Fresh Daily Bread. I want to encourage you to come be a part of God's family. Well, Tuesday's prayer focus. Pray that Scripture would be honored in homes, schools, churches, and yes, our government. Now remember, Jesus is coming back soon. Here's Tuesday's blessing. I bless your roots to go down deep into the soil of God's marvelous love.